Matt, welcome to the company.
Thank
Been
you.
hearing good things about you. Tell me a little about yourself.
Sure. Well, I was born at a very young age on the night of October the 22nd, 1989. Was not really a popular kid. I had about one friend, and he wasn't real. But I was very smart. Then fast forward to like middle school-ish, I got a really bad case of acne, and that just didn't help matters at all. I tried to get my first kiss, and a pimple popped right on her face. So I really studied really hard.
Good talk.
For like 5 nights,
Good talk.
and then finally, like come the time of the exam, I felt okay for it, but I don't really know how I felt because it was such a long time ago. And then I think I ended up passing with like a 3 or 4.
An elevator speech is your story, it's your purpose, it's your objective. It should be done in about 35 seconds, or about the time it takes to go from the ground floor in an elevator up to the 5th floor. This forces you to think about what you're saying. You need to plan it, and you need to be precise. In terms of messaging, there's no one right way to say anything, but it does help to think about the 5 W's. Who? We're talking about the relationship between you and the mentor. Most likely somebody arranged this because the mentor is a friend of a contact that you have, and you need to understand what that relationship is. What? It's a career mentoring program, and you need to be able to explain what the objectives are for the career mentoring program. The where and the when are the simple details. Where are you going to meet and when, and that's crucial. Why? Because you have a passion about this particular career, and you want to make that clear. Now, even if you don't, and you're just doing the research, it's okay to lie. You want to show interest. The how has to do with the whole interview process, and we're going to get into that in just a minute. I'd like to talk about style, and this is really one of the most important topics, and yet it's also very difficult. Style is what you bring to any message. It's something that's unique to you. Think about it this way. Anytime you give a message, it's also being received. And there's no guarantee that the person receiving it is going to hear it the same way you intend it. We look at the world through a certain lens or a certain filter, and everybody's filter is different. If I were to give you my glasses, you wouldn't be able to make sense out of the world the way I need to. So you want to think about your messaging. How is it being received? In terms of style, there's really a range. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 is delivering your message in a very rote manner. The person's probably going to fall asleep. A 10 is where you use your personality to your advantage. Now, I'm not talking about necessarily being funny. I'm just saying use your personality and make it work for you.
When you sit down, well, first off, before you sit down, shake, I'll just speak to me. Shake my hand, male, female, I don't care. Don't give me a fish. Don't give me a soft handshake. Give me a nice firm handshake and look me in the eye.
Yep, absolutely.
And be polite, and I'll be polite back, and then we'll sit down and we'll have a conversation. When you sit down, sit on the edge of your chair. Don't lean back in the chair. Lean forward. Lean across the table. Look the person in the eye when you speak with them. Show that you have confidence.
What are the tools of style? And there are many. For example, you want to be aware of your posture. You don't want to slouch. Eye contact is very important. You want to look the mentor directly in the eye. And attitude is really important. Even if you don't love the career, you want to show interest in it. Let's review what you want to take away from the interview. You want to take notes. You want to have photos. And this is important because you're going to use this later as you develop a web page. You want to get contact information. That would include address, email, cell phone. You also want to get additional names of people in the field that you can contact. And lastly, you want to get feedback from the mentor, especially on a hands-on assignment that you can do on your own. Let's talk about some protocols or courtesies. The first thing you want to do is to extend a thank you. You can do this in a number of ways. A really personal way is to send a note. You want to stay in touch with a mentor. Why do you want to do this? You never know how the mentor can help you. It may be a year or two later, but you may need a reference to college. You may even need a part-time job. You never know, so stay friends with your mentor. These are really great lifetime skills that you're developing. Now, your first objective is to work with a mentor and understand the career, and that's good. But ultimately, the ability to articulate your message, the ability to ask questions of somebody who can help you, are such important skills that you'll use the rest of your lifetime. Your next step is to think about what was said and look at the essay questions. Start to think about this critically. Good luck.
Let's summarize what we have learned. One of the critical success factors for your career mentoring project rests in your ability to conduct an effective interview. Let's talk about those things.
Know your questions. Have them ready so that you can take good notes. Send the questions in advance to your mentor. Set the expectations for the mentor so that she is comfortable. Nobody wants surprises. You will only need 1 hour of her time, so make sure that she knows this.
What types of interviews can you do? In person. In-person interviews are always your first preference. You need to pay attention to your presentation. Phone interviews are the most efficient. You need to show interest through your voice because this is the only one of the senses that are in play. Skype. Technology allows us to have face-to-face interviews from a remote location. However, you need to make sure that compatible software exists on both ends of the conversation. You need to do this before the interview begins. Attitude. You should express your gratitude. The mentor's time is a gift to you. Body language. Think about your posture. Your body should communicate that you are interested. Note-taking. It is important to take good notes. Don't worry, your mentor will not mind if you take the time to do this. Hands-on project. Some of the most valuable insight that you can receive is feedback from the mentor on a project or task that you complete. Don't be afraid to ask. Your facilitator can help you think of ideas. Tying it together. Remember, you want to walk away from your interview with several things. You should have completed notes, photos, and you want to have the ability to maintain this relationship. Therefore, make sure that you get the mentor's email or address so that you can send him a thank you note.